Greetings. Hello, hello. Let's say Ed, you raised your hand and then you lowered your hand. You you were so keen for a question.
Yeah, I've been working on something and then I just figured out that it was the wrong color and that's why I couldn't see it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It's the FAQs. And I'm like, why can't I see this? It's there. I can see it. And yeah. So, anyhow, that was it. Thanks, guys.
Easy. All right. Well, thanks everyone. See ya. All right. Um, Mr. Not Nicole. Hello.
Oh, I am able to just unmute myself. Hi there. My name's Sebastian. I'm Nicole's assistant. She just
Sweet.
wanted me to come in today. I had a few questions to ask, and she's in a meeting right now already. So she said, "Well, just pop in there and ask your questions."
Great. Yeah. Go ahead.
I just
What do you got?
I had two here. The first one here, we're hoping to find out if there's a way if we can use the point system inside of Zoom to reward people for actively having their camera on during the event.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Um, No, not at the moment. So, uh, not specifically with points, and really the only thing with tracking what happens within Zoom is through the Zoom attendance kind of exports and things that you can do.
Mm.
So, are you familiar with that?
That's
Zoom
all
attendance.
tracking Zoom data after the fact the meeting has already occurred, right?
Yeah. You can actually do it while it's active, while
Oh.
it's live, because we're collecting data as the event is happening, and so you are able to like one of the key functions of that feature is particularly tracking who is connected to Zoom at a
Hmm.
specific time. So obviously, when you're doing for enrollment based events, when you're doing a pitch, you want to know exactly who was and who wasn't there at the time that you gave the pitch. And
Hmm.
so you can actually even automate that in the Zoom attendance feature where you're able to say tag people, particularly if you're using a CRM. Is that are you using a
Yep.
CRM?
Yeah,
Yep.
we track through active campaigns. Yep.
Great. Yeah. And so you're able to push back to Active Campaign tags for the people that
Okay.
uh, were in attendance. And so obviously then you can target people who weren't and that sort of thing. So
Do you
it is a
do you
little
know if
bit
I
different
still
than
have
points, but
oh, sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Do you know if I still have access to that through the meetings that are hosted through Ovio? Because it looks like that's not hosting, because I can't find any of that information through our personal Zooms. It seems to launch through you guys somehow.
Yeah. So as in the attendance data, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
because
Are you
when
able to
we
access
start
that?
the meetings as either host or co-host, it happens directly through Avio, and then there's no
Correct.
record of those meetings or that data can't be found in our personal Zooms, right?
Correct. That's right. Yeah. It's a separate account. It's a separate Zoom account. It's our enterprise account
Right.
of ours, and then we expose the data back through Obvio. And so
Oh, okay.
yeah, and so there's a under Zoom areas. I should just double check that it's enabled on specifically on that account. Let me just double check this now. But under Zoom areas, there's another tab called attendance. Let me check here. And it wasn't. All right, hang on. So yeah, I've just
Wonderful. I think I saw it pop up right there.
I'm just adding it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can play around with that. You're essentially choosing a window to look at, a time window,
Yeah.
and then you're able just to export that, and you can see who you have,
Okay.
or you can apply a tag.
And this, so of course, the way that this is being fed to me from your guys' Zoom in back through Avio, there wouldn't be any way for me to feed this data in live to be able to award points during the event itself. It would all be after the event. I'd have to scan the data and then.
No, so it is live.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah. So
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll play around with it and get to learn a little more.
yeah, so you totally could use it. Within sort of a couple of minutes, you would see the live data in there, right? You'd see it updating because we're getting data back from the Zoom meeting as it's happening, and that will
Okay.
display in there. And so, yeah, you can certainly give that a play, and you can schedule it as well to tag.
Oh.
So um, let me just show you that quickly so that it may save you some time messing around. It might not be as intuitive. So I'll just show you. So just in here, I'll try to do here. Of course, I'm on an event that's been going for years. If I do last Wednesday, what? December. We need a little today button on this. Where am I? Where are we? September there. And if I go to, just to make this a bit easier, oops. That's fine. The same again. Let's do that. Okay. So I'm going to choose this as well, which is you can choose the area. So the Zoom area. Okay. So this was last week, right? So we're seeing here a total running of who was the number of people in Zoom at that specific moment in time, and then you're seeing joins and leaves as well, which is always a good thing to see because, for example, here we had 12 people, but we had one person leave and one person join, and so if you imagine that uh, on a larger scale, you could think that you had the same amount of people in the room, but actually you had a whole bunch of people leave and bunch of people come. And so
Hmm.
that tells you a bit more of the picture. Now that I'm looking at this window, I can add an external tag, right? So depending on the only service we have connected on this event at the moment is Zapier. And so we could add a Zapier tag, confirm, send that through, right? So and there's a few filters that you can do as well. So you may want to say, actually, I want only the people that were there for the whole time or
Hmm.
for a percentage of time, right? During
Okay.
in that window. But the thing that you can do as well is you can schedule an action, right? So this is showing a scheduled action. But what I'll do is I'll show you if I was to do this and say add an external tag, I'd say what the tag is that I want. And instead of hitting confirm, I'd hit the time because I want something. I'd hit the time and then when do you want it to be applied? So the window can be chosen even in the future. Choose the time window that you're looking for, and then choose the time for the action to actually grab that data and send it back as tags. So
Okay.
if you give yourself a little bit of time there just for the data to catch up,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, then you can push through those tags, and then you could have, whatever you want to do in active campaign, you could
Yeah,
have
I think
that.
that would be nice. You could time that out to happen right between our larger breaks, right after lunch or supper, and
Sure.
everybody could come back and a bunch of points could roll in. That would be nice, actually. Good way to build excitement again. Well, that's
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Thank you for showing me that. I have one much smaller question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. What do you got?
I'm just wondering if there's any way to delete unused broadcasts.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I can see Justin's brain just sort of thinking, I know it's not there. It's not
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah, unfortunately, in the early stages of learning how to use it, we've gone from cloned event to cloned event, and instead of early realizing that we could have just been
yeah,
redating the events, we end up making a whole bunch of duplicates. So, but I can just title them all so alphabet so they're at the bottom of the list
yeah,
anyway.
that
So,
go down the bottom. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it is. It is something that would be nice to add. We can have that on a lower priority list, but yeah, it would be nice even to be able to filter, particularly when you start getting a lot of broadcast in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be appreciated. But that you answered my first question wonderfully. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks, Sebastian. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. And let me check. I know I've got a question or two. Right, Muddy. Multi-room question. This is actually good because I think I've got something that you haven't thought of. I'd like to get a team member into a specific room, but have them join as an attendee, so they don't have co-host permission to accidentally mute the main stage feed. Ask me how I know. Is that the...
I'm open to any solutions where the co-host does not mute the main stage feed. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think my options are to create a direct access link. Yeah, that could totally work. Have them join through the back end or through team access panel, but then have host remove co-host. All right. So I'll jump to the feature that I think could work best for you, that you've probably forgotten about, and that is assigning an attendee to a room. You can assign them even before they've actually been to the room, right? So if I pick someone here, not there, here, you've got all your room assignments, right? So even before they've actually been to the room, you can assign them. So if you have something with multiple rooms, there you go. That assigns them. Now, when they click on the link, you're not convinced, Muddy. I thought this
Well,
was
what I realize is this is this is great, assuming two things. So for a big event that's linked to a CRM, we need to make sure that they're correctly registered as the CRM with the CRM and tag so that they don't get removed out as an attendee once the CRM system refreshes. Like if they're in that CRM as a contact, but they don't have the correct event tag, Obvio will actually remove them from the attendee list if I had created them manually here. So, because one time I had a whole series of chat support folks in the list and they kept getting removed and I couldn't figure out why, and that was the issue. The other thing I realized is that solution, I like that solution, as long as I don't want them to come into the room until the area is open. If I want them in the room beforehand, then I'll need to make sure that they have some way to get in from the back end. And I think any of those other three, direct access, direct link to the room, back end access, or team panel where it's one shared team panel, because I know that Team
Yeah,
Panel
that's
does
right.
have an option to join as participant, but
Mm.
if people are sharing a multiple, sharing one, because what I've come to understand is that one of the best practices with Team Access Panel is you're creating one Team Access Panel kind of per role, or really just for the event, and all of the team members can reuse that and join as co-hosts. But if somebody joins as participant from that setting, no one else can join as a participant using the default settings that doesn't allow multiple people to connect. So
Using that same
if you have,
attendee.
yeah, so if you create one support team member at email.com,
Oh, I see.
and and everyone uses that same dashboard
Yeah.
to join their room, it'll give you the option to join as co-host or join as participant. But then anyway, so but yeah, I like
So
that. I like the room assignment issue.
I mean, it's really I'm trying to chase you down the decision tree is really what's happening here, because there's multiple ways to go in each way we're talking about it. First thing, thank you. The first thing is I do think that best practice is to have all of the team in high level, because you have all of your team and all of your attendees all in one place, and it's the single source of truth that these are all the people that are involved in the event, whether they're an attendee or a team member. And now you can tag them with whatever you want. And that's all great if you know exactly who it is. And I guess that's part of the problem, right? Is that you potentially want to use a generic link for some of the team members. Is that true?
Well, I don't know that I had any specific need personally to use a generic link. I wanted to make sure if I added them, they didn't get whisked away at an update, right? So for the one event, I didn't have access to the CRM. So I couldn't verify myself that all of the team members have all the correct tags that they need in the CRM system. And people kept getting, hey, why don't I have Team Access Panel anymore? And it's like, oh, okay, let me go back and add you. So it sounded like Blue often uses this kind of one team member. And if I create a random email address as that login, I can be assured it's not in their CRM system and it's going to get whisked away. It's only this attendee that I created directly in Obvio. Because if that email address doesn't exist in the CRM, it's not going to get deleted when the CRM refreshes. So that was a kind of hacker tip I learned from Blue. But yeah, I like the idea of making sure everybody's in there.
Okay, so but on that too is that if you did want to go the generic link, you can just turn on multi-device for the area, right?
True.
And now people can multiple people can join using that same link. Of course, that's for everyone, but it is if it's a free event or a cheaper event, it may not be a big deal. That's one thing to think of.
Well, I have another question for you. So, and that's good. I wanted to make sure there wasn't some other. Well, there was one other thing I hadn't thought of, which is the room assignment. Yeah. But the room assignment gave me another thought that happened. So we start the event, turn on 5 rooms. They're all starting to come in. All of a sudden, room 1 is getting full faster and faster and faster. Room 1 maxes out, and I'm like, what the heck? And the only thing I thought of is that somehow I need to go in and clear room assignment. Somehow too many people have been assigned to room 1. And what I found out had happened, you see, what had happened was the they had used room 1 for a previous little pop-up, hey, come and join us.
Right.
And so a bunch of people got assigned to room 1, and I didn't
Right.
know that it had never been used before. So I cleared room assignments. That worked. Although there were a couple people who were supposed to be assigned to room 1 that ended up in different rooms.
Right.
But the question has to do with the clear assignments on offline. Okay, there's a toggle. And what I think, Justin and I were discussing this, what I think that means is if they were previously assigned to room 2, but now only one room is turned on and the room is offline, then they would get reassigned to a different room. What the other possible interpretation is if they leave and come back, if they go offline, if the attendee, or if that toggle really only has to do with the room that they were assigned to being offline.
So the way that it was built was really the way that you were talking about to start with, in that there was a way in that previously to this, if people came back and their room was not online, then they'd be offline. It doesn't matter whether there was other rooms that were online, they would get an offline message because that specific room was offline. So, but the use case was also to say the next day we want people to potentially go into a totally different room. We want all of the assignments so that each day they're actually being reassigned, to a different room. And so by reassign on offline, it sort of was two different things, but that was part of the thinking, right? So that some events, it was like, we want you to be in the same room for the whole event. Some we
I
actually
never considered the answer would be both
Right.
options. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So so you can play around with that, but yes, clear assignments.
Is there a trigger that has to happen that, like, it has to be the next calendar day, or the rooms have to all be closed and reopened, or is it just when that person leaves Zoom and comes back, they'll just get put into a room that has capacity?
No, I actually think that there was an iteration of that, and that was then the clear room assignments as the trigger to specifically make it that,
Okay.
right. And so it's two separate functions. But
Gotcha.
yeah, that's the tricky thing with if you were assigning team members specifically to a room. So,
and there's no way to import room assignments, right? It has to be, you have to click on that little button for each person and put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean,
No,
if I was you, I would like to have all the crew in high level tagged appropriately, and you choose that you don't put team co-host on the people that you don't want that for. And now I know that they're not necessarily assigned to the room. They'll see all the rooms within that area. But they can know, and now they've got the ability, if they need to switch rooms, they can do that. And so that's one advantage with crew being able to jump through the access panel, is that they can now jump between rooms.
Are you saying there's an option on the access panel other than team host or team co-host? If I exclude those, do they only get the option for?
Yeah.
I thought I needed that third. I thought I needed team host or team co-host, and then team AAA or team area, whatever. I don't.
I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure.
Okay.
You just leave both those out, and you should have join as attendee.
Okay, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
If I look distracted, I'll be testing. Thank you.
Yeah, you can have a little play. See if I'm right or wrong. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just leave, because we've seen it. We've seen it when we accidentally we don't put team co-host in properly, or team host, you spell it wrong or something, and now they can only see attendee. Otherwise, we wouldn't need team. All right. Ask questions though. For those that might have been trying to play along but were a little confused, it's just having a multi-room event, which means you've sort of got thousands of people that are coming to the event, and trying to manage how you get your team access into the right places. So that's what that's all about. All right, let me check questions here. I just check the people that have posted questions. Muddy, our events in Obvio Essential still limited to 3 days. Yes, I believe they are. Seems silly since best practice includes. Yes, although if you remember, we did include that. That you could run tech
vaguely.
check the day before.
Tech check doesn't really count against that. Okay.
Yeah, you play around with that.
Okay,
Arguably,
cool.
I would say that if you're doing an event with tech check, then pay the extra $100 for the month and get pro.
This was a client event, and I was trying to tell them best practices to start a week before, or a couple days before, a couple days after.
Right.
Like, well, wait, aren't we
And
limited to 3 days? And I was like,
right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the basic plan is really just to get rolling and do a small event, maybe with a 10 people or something, and
well, monthly would be a great way to
you.
do that, rather than paying for the year. Stay monthly, and then if you do events quarterly, you can bump it up for those months or something. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, cool. Hello, Ash. Long time.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend. Okay, so I have a just basic question. I don't have multi-room event, I promise. I got a very small thing going on. So I haven't done a thing, just so you know, since we got started. I'm doing my first event next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. And it's I'm just word of mouth marketing it, probably around 50 people or so.
Yep.
I want to set up something in Obvio, and I was thinking, what do I need? What do I don't need right now? I just want to make sure that I can record my event in HD, and people go through whatever Obvio thing that we go through. I kind of figured I'll ask you that question, and you'll help me with that.
Yeah. So the first thing to work out is, firstly, if it's a paid or a free event.
It's a paid event.
Paid event. Okay. So now you have to work out how are you giving access specifically to the people that have paid. So what is the process that people are you using a CRM for them to pay through?
So I'm using Go High Level.
Great.
And I do have a community I run, financial checkers community through Mighty Networks. So people are being funneled into my community, and then in my community I created a section just for the event. So there are some people who are my VIP clients already. I'm giving them access, and I'm also giving access to these other people. But the link for the event will be accessed from the community. It's kind of like how I have it set up right now. I could set up as an email, but not sure yet.
Okay. So yeah, we've got a few clients that use it like this, in that same. See, the thing that Obvio has, apart from all the sort of Zoom management and things like that, and access to an enterprise version of Zoom and things like that, is that kind of portal or dashboard that gets people into Zoom. And so that's one advantage, right? Because people build out this dashboard and it's got information there and things like that. Now, in your case, Marty, did that work? That's a lot of excitement.
I'm
So what I
excited for you,
just
buddy.
saw what I just saw from Muddy is we should really document that feature so that he would have known about it all along.
Well, yeah,
That was my takeaway.
yeah, fair enough.
Oh, it's a good secret feature.
That's good. Yeah, it is. I actually thought that you, in when you were talking about your question, I thought that you were already aware that you could do that. So, because you were kind of discounting it as an option because it was like, oh, but only one person can use that, right? So I didn't know that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So Ash, the thing is, in your use case, you kind of already have a dashboard, right? Because you've already got your community, and you've already given people only access to this area because they've paid. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But you're already handling that.
Yeah.
And so you don't really need another dashboard that they go to. You kind of just want to get them straight into Zoom, albeit that it's in
Essentially.
Obvio. Yeah.
Essentially,
So
because if I was to give access, it's the same thing. Like we have our own community within Obvio. It's kind of like the process, right? I think
yeah.
eventually I might move to that process, but
Mhm.
I don't see a reason as of right now.
Fair enough.
And I'm not so sure, but I think that the missing link on that in the future is like tech check and all that gets missed, right? Like that basically goes away, correct? If I don't use that, essentially.
Yeah. If you bypass the dashboard, the Obvio dashboard, then yes, you don't have the ability to do sort of an intake form survey and the tech check if you wanted to do that.
Okay.
And
I think in the future,
yeah,
yeah,
people are still, we have a mixed bag of people. Large events is an interesting indication. Lots of large events don't do tech check, and then arguably the largest clients still do tech checks, and so there is sort of advantages, and you can probably argue that the larger the event is, the more tech check makes it personal for people. And so before they're getting into their event, they're dropping into a small meeting with just 3 or 4 people and doing a tech check. And we've heard all the stories about people going to an event with 10,000 people, and they met these 4 people when they did their tech check, and they became buddies all through the event and lifelong friends because of it, right? Like,
I see.
Whereas with an event with 100 people, 150 people, arguably, I think tech check is still valuable, but do it in the main meeting. Do it as a housekeeping aspect. Do it as part of your event, So now people have arrived and you're saying, hey, it's great to have everyone here. Is it worth us, everyone, let me ask you this question. Is it worth us spending 5 or 10 minutes making sure all our tech is good so it doesn't plague us all through the event? Should we just take a few minutes now, make sure everything's working? Let's have a little chat. Maybe we'll jump into some breakout rooms quickly, send everyone in. You can test your microphones and make sure everything's all good. Great. Everyone knows where the chat is. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Have you got the workbook? Maybe there's a workbook. Have you got that open somewhere? Awesome. All right. Have you got a drink? Have you got, right? It's all this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We want zero distraction as we're doing our event now. And so let's, see what I mean? And you can do that with a smaller event. You can handle that. I think doing a breakout room really early on in the event is super cool. It's just like, and you're still going to have 10, 20% of people that don't like it. And that's fine. That's all right.
That's fine. Yeah.
There'll be a bunch of people.
I'm laughing because I don't even know what tech to check. I have no idea. To me, you turn on Zoom, I'm here. Like, let's start talking.
Well, do
like,
you can have people get really lost, right?
okay.
And they, Zoom gets hidden behind some other window, and now they're lost totally.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay.
Like they've got a blindfold on. They might see and hear you, but if you're using breakout rooms and they don't have their microphones selected properly, they can railroad that whole breakout room session, because now we've got Marge Simpson who can't get her microphone working and keeps slamming stuff in the chat, or sends through noise or whatever. And now that 5-minute breakout room session was a disaster because Marge ruined it. Thanks, Marge.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks, Marge. Okay.
Yeah. So by doing that tech check, essentially before you get into content, you're really setting people up to win, because now it's like, we know you go into that breakout room, everything's all working great. And also just knowing where chat is, know where the raise hand button is, knowing where the react buttons is, or, things like that. So that they're just super familiar with it. Now, most people know Zoom now, I think, that come to these events, but there are still people that don't, and it doesn't hurt to kind of just do that refresher for people.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway,
now that you say that, it makes sense. I have some people who the Zoom will disappear and they're like, well, I can't find you guys. Stuff like that.
Right. I
didn't
hear
think
you,
about
but I
that.
can't see you.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So do we have a checklist on that?
There's not, but you can go back over this recording and note down what I've got. But
thank you so much.
It's a good idea. So what I was doing there is, we're talking about you not having tech check if you get people directly into Zoom. And so, which I think is okay in your case. You've got your own dashboard system. You don't necessarily need, at the moment, you don't need Obvio to handle the dashboard, but you do want to use Obvio for the for Zoom.
Yeah.
And so the way to do that is by using a direct access link. And so what that is when we're looking at here, when we're looking at our Zoom areas, and we go to an area, when we set up a Zoom area, we always have one Zoom meeting that is automatically created, and that's what this one is. Justin, we really need to make this clearer. It's crazy that we have this tiny little one. It's like, even if we had a room one or Zoom meeting one or something, right? We're just like, this seems like a hidden way to get into it. But anyway, you click on the one. Right.
Okay.
And now you've got access to the direct room access.
Okay.
All right. And so what this is just a link that, when we look at it, it's going to use the theming that you have so this is the theming that we had set up for the login pages and things like that. It's going to ask for the basic information: first name, last name, email, and then join room. Now, you can customize what this is. If we look here, right over here, you can customize first name, last name, email, the names of those, and what do you want to call that button? Join Zoom meeting, or join the event, or whatever you want that button to be called. You can handle that there. You can also put in a basic description on this page that shows up here and sort of shows what it's about. But you can customize all of this. What happens then? They put the first name, last name, email, join room, and now it launches them into Zoom. Now, because you are, if you wanted to do sort of an advanced level move, because you're coming from a CRM, it's likely that you're able to customize the URL, this URL, from high level, and you can put in URL parameters here, which will pre-populate these 3 fields. So
almost like a redirect kind of a thing.
Almost. Is it F name? I'm trying to remember now. Let's see. No. What is it? Oh no, it must be the whole thing first, and then underscore. I think it's something like that. I always forget. There we go. So see that, and then last name. So, and then email, right? So what would happen in high level is that when you're putting in this URL link, you'll put in like merge fields, or whatever they call them, contact field or something like that. And so it'll end up looking, something like that, or right. It looks something like that, so that when the user clicks on it, it's going to put their details into that URL as it goes off, and Obvio is going to populate them there. It's already got it all there, and then they just hit join room. And now that's the name that is going to pass through into Zoom as well, right? So now you're not going to see iPad and, Jane's iPhone. You'll see their actual first name and last name.
I say, but it won't be iPad and all that, because they will have to put their information here, right?
Correct. Whatever they put in here is what will show up in Zoom.
Is what will show up over there. Okay, great. And then when it comes to the entry points, okay, and then it will just be a main Zoom, and then I'll be able to record and stuff like that, essentially, just
All
do
that's
normal
the same.
functioning.
Yeah.
All that's the same. Okay.
So just from a security point of view, this page is exposed to people, which means that there's nothing stopping people sharing this link with 100 of their buddies, and they will show up in your.
I see.
Right.
And they will show up in the room. I see what you mean. So the advanced move protects me from having to do that automatically.
I mean,
no, right?
Sort of. Yeah, a little bit. So there's actually quite a few different ways of handling this, right? Because you can also sync your event with high level, so that with a certain tag that Obvio gives you, it'll say anyone that has this tag in high level will be added to Obvio as a user, as an attendee. And it's possible then to several different things here, but hang on, let me do this. What you can do in this option is, if you've got attendees that are being created in Obvio, then you have an option here. See this? Registration is currently open to all. If you toggle this, registration is limited to existing attendees. So now it's going to look, it's still going to show the same login screen, but it's going to look for their email address in the Obvio attendee list. If their email address isn't there, they're not getting in. So that's another sort of security step there.
Got it. Okay. So if I wanted people only who registered and who paid, like, how would I put that information here so that Obvio checks it and says, okay, this person is here?
Yeah. So you would link high level,
right,
to the event, and this will give you let me see if it'll give you I can show you an event that's got one linked. It'll specifically give you a tag that you need to use in high level. I'll show you that. Yeah, and I'll tell you one more way. It's funny. The longer we have the platform, the more options we have for different ways of of doing these sorts of events. So it's always like, there's 3 different ways you could do that. And definitely the way that I just said, that direct access link is probably going to be the best to start with, right? Like,
I think
just
so
to,
too. I mean, at least
um,
for simplicity purposes, the way I'm kind of like thinking about it, the
yeah,
more simpler it is, at least for this time, the better.
yeah, totally agree. When you step through, so from this, you hit authorize, that goes off to high level, links the accounts together. When you are linked, then it looks like this. And now what it's saying is add this tag to attendees you want to import, right? So Obvio has generated this tag, and it's now saying tag that in high level with anyone that you want to appear in the Obvio event. It's a specific for the Obvio event. And now that might be a workflow that you have added as your registration. When people buy the ticket, they add this tag. Whatever you do in high level, Obvio doesn't care how you get the tag there. It's just looking for that tag and then it will grab that contact information. And this is the thing that is also interesting to know, is that Obvio will create the attendee in Obvio. It will then grab that magic link, the magic login link, and it will put it back in this field. Whatever you call this field, this login URL field, it will put that in high level. Now, I imagine that you could link all of that together, and you could actually have it so that their magic link appeared, their Obvio magic link appeared in you like Mighty Networks is where you've got your community and stuff.
Mighty Networks, yeah.
You could have that linking all across. So now when they come into your portal for that event, they click on that link, it logs them in, it takes them to the dashboard of Obvio. And on that dashboard is just a button that says join Zoom, and now you're through. And that's kind of, completing that whole circuit.
I see. Okay. So then they don't have to put in the name and email basically.
That's right.
You'll save them for that, essentially, right? Okay, good.
And
Got
it's
it.
more secure.
So
yeah.
And then
you
to
can
do this.
email.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So that is one thing, and you mentioned right at the start about potentially emailing people. Obviously, when you do have that Obvio login URL, that magic link, being able to email that, it's a simple email out of high level saying, "Come join the event. We've started now." Something that's also handy in this is that these two fields, these two tags get added back to high level when the attendee is created. So for sure that they've been created in Obvio. That's nice to know. And then the checked in means that they've hit the dashboard at least once. And so now you can use that tag in your or use that as a filter in your emailing to be able to say, hey, seen you haven't joined us yet. We've started an hour ago or whatever it is. They haven't joined yet, right? Because that hasn't been tagged. So there's a few of those extra things there. And then another advantage of connecting is that you can add tags and groups from high level into Obvio and use that to display different data on the Obvio dashboard. Or you can also, in Zoom, you can add data at the end of people's names in Zoom. So if you had a particular like VIP tag or or there was different groupings, or there was that sort of thing. An example I use often is I did an education event with doctors, and there was all different hierarchy of doctors, trainees and registrars and professors, and so we added their level to their name. And now when someone asked a question, we knew that this is coming from a professor or this is coming from a trainee or, whatever it was, because it was written in their name. And that it was all possible because we had the data in the CRM. We passed that through into Obvio, and then using labels in Obvio, we were able to add that into Zoom all automatically. So that then we could see all their names. That was also really handy for when you're doing breakout rooms. You could sort of sort based by name, search for professor, and now put all the professors in a breakout room, or that type of thing. So
I see. Okay, I like that very much.
I've
So for my
downloaded a lot
simplest,
for you, Ash. I'm sorry. I've kind of
no, that's okay. Like I'm beginning to understand because I haven't had to pay attention to it, so I
right.
haven't, right? Now that
Yeah,
I'm getting into the groove, I need to understand it anyways. Okay. So simplest thing is go to the Zoom area, go to the link. Do I have to start the event or something like that, or will it automatically
sure.
start, or how will that work?
Yeah. So on the day, no matter how you're getting people into the event, you are going to need to get this one. Like I did with this one, I came here, hit main stage, and I made sure that the area was open.
Okay.
Okay, so it's open, and then I click open room, and then join. Or when no one's in it, when it hasn't been started, it says start room, and so
Got
click
it.
open room, start room. And the reason we have open area, even with one room in it, is that this means that you can start the Zoom meeting, do some tests, have some of your team join, that sort of thing, but none of your attendees can get in until you hit join, until you hit open area. Now, there's a small caveat, and that is
Okay.
that if you're using the direct room access link, then that ignores whether the area is open or not, because it's used as a direct access. You're getting people directly into that Zoom meeting,
Yeah, I think
regardless of
that
whether the
my
area is
best
open.
bet for this event would be just direct access and then call it a day for now,
Yeah,
because I want to try to keep it as simple as possible. I think the
agreed.
next event I can go into more detail and say,
Yeah,
okay, now let me start playing with the dashboard and like really get acclimated, and maybe one day I'll be as good as Muddy, but at least for now, I will stay with my basic of like just let's take the link and just send it. Like literally, and I'll put it
yeah,
in my Mighty Networks, basically, in the
yeah,
area where I create that, and they will just click that and they'll go to that link, basically, right?
yep, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Simple
Yeah, and
enough.
you can
Thank
choose
you.
whether you pre-populate the terms or not. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. Thank you.
you're welcome. All the best with it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Muddy, sorry, not sorry. Like, I'm so sorry that the platform is so flexible and able to be used in many different ways. So sorry. All right. Who else there's no other posted questions? Anyone else? I haven't been tracking the chat if there is anything in there that I should be aware of. Apart from hello and hello. Okay. Janelle, is it? Janelle?
Okay, a couple questions from the chat.
Yes.
Justin did reply. I just wondered if Active Campaign, which is what we use, also does the integration like go high level.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it does. Yep.
Okay.
So in that all of the integrations work essentially the same way, that there is and so you can see in the attendees and services, you can see Active Campaign is there.
Oh, okay.
And so
My
same type
I
of thing.
just want to make sure that my team member is on. Is there another one of me in this room? Yeah, there is. Okay, he's
Okay, cool. Yeah. we've got a recording. We live stream this to YouTube for the express purpose of it just being available for recording, and so
okay.
you can follow the same link that you did to get to this dashboard, and on the dashboard is the YouTube, is a playlist of all these recordings, so you can always go back over this if you need to. But yeah, this is how you'll connect. It's slightly trickier with ActiveCampaign, but you essentially get an API key, URL and key, and you authorize, and then it gives you the options there as to how it will sync. But the concept is the same in that you're telling Obvio, here's the group of people that you want, or like here's the individual contact. Obvio is going to add their first name, last name, email into Obvio. It creates that attendee in Obvio and then sends back that magic link back to ActiveCampaign for you to be able to use that to be able to send out to people. Okay.
So just confirm that my train of thought is accurate, and
yeah,
my guy James on the call is as me in the other window, but so we have our list of people who have signed up for our events from our website. We can take that list and put that ActiveCampaign list and put that into Obvio without them having to like sign up for Obvio.
Correct.
And then we can do it without a password, so they can just go in if they have their login. And so that's a seamless, easy thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. In the same way that you joined this event, that's exactly that. Like you click the link in the email and it came to the dashboard, and then you click join Zoom.
Great. And so for that, if we do it that way, those links that they get, they can share with someone else.
Yeah. So the way that works is that as many links that go out, if they were to share the link, everyone will get to the dashboard. But when it comes to joining Zoom, there's an option that is default to not allow multiple devices to join by the one person, right?
Right.
So as soon as that one person is in fact, we've got it turned off on this meeting, as you can see, you both joined, right? But the default is to have that off. It's called multi-device, and we don't allow multi-device. So it means that the first person, the real person, is in there. They send it to their friends. Their friends try to join Zoom, and it says you're already in Zoom, and they can't get in.
And what's the best way? So during the call, or during, the event or call or whatever, if I say, hey, if you want to invite somebody right now, send out invites. You have 5 minutes to send out invites, if they can. What is the best thing to send it for that?
So there's an Obvio solution to that, but I would argue you probably want to capture that in ActiveCampaign, right?
Right.
Like you want to create a really simple little sign up page, and you say, and so then this is what you send out, and then that flow will work through, but let me show you a couple of things that might be of interest in that instance. One is that we have just a very simple sign up page for Obvio only, and so where that is in here, design and sign up. Was I waiting? Oh, there we go. You're good.
Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, so there's a simple sign up page, right? And so this is literally just first name, last name, email, and now they're created in Obvio, and then they're there on the dashboard. Now, the advantage with that, particularly in the example that you gave about trying to get people in as quickly as possible, is that this process doesn't require any emailing, right? Like they're sent a link, they put their details in, they go straight to the dashboard, they can join the event. They're not waiting for an email. It's not caught in spam. It's not whatever's happening, right? They get straight in. So arguably that is a really good way of doing it. And the other way, which is capturing now, obviously once you've got someone signed up in Obvio, you can you can export that list and you can import it and do whatever you want with that list of people afterwards, right?
Right.
The most important thing is the most seamless way of getting someone into the event as quickly as possible, and that would likely be this, a sign up page. Okay. So another way is that if you did go through your active campaign process, what happens there is, thinking about timing, is that someone signs up, it then sends that data off to Obvio. Obvio then sends the link back, and then you would likely send that link to them in an email to say, here's your link to join the event. Now, in the best case scenario, that happens really quickly and that whole process is great, but we're relying on a few different services. We're relying on Active Campaign to get it, Obvio to send it back, and then to send it back, and to Active Campaign to see it and to do all of that. And so it might be minutes, that takes for that to complete the process.
Okay.
There's another little step in there that we often use, and that is that we have a broadcast function in Obvio as well to be able to send emails out. And in this example, we can send a welcome email, which is triggered when any attendee is added to Obvio. That could be that they're added manually by just typing it into the attendee list. It could be imported from a CSV file or something.
That could be dangerous.
It can be dangerous, and that's why it's like, you only enable it when you really want those emails to go out. It's literally that. But it can be very handy during an event, or like right at the start of the event when people are like, oh, I meant to sign up, but I haven't yet, and whatever, is that you can just trigger that welcome email, and now they've got their email. So they've got their login link. So that's just another little step in there that can work for you. I think, I sort of said that it makes sense for you to follow that same process of having them in Active Campaign, because as a true CRM, you want that full history and to see what happened there. But there is that advantage of using that sign-up form to get them straight into the event without waiting for emails. And so you can have a think about that.
Okay.
What else have you got?
I have another question. Oh, you have other people though. I'll wait for another one.
You go. That's all right. I'll finish off.
Well, I'm finally putting my TVs. Are you answering tech questions as well or no?
I can. Yeah, we can do a quick tech question. Sure.
I'm finally putting my TVs on the stands I got, and we're going to do some test stuff and everything. My question is, my control room is in a room to the side of me, and the person who's like controlling everything is in that room.
Mm-hmm.
But in my room where I am, are the screens with like the comments and the, all that stuff. I'm just wondering if I need a control. I know in this Blues in their studio, they have a switcher in the little room. I'm wondering if I should put a switcher at my desk so that I can switch between things or not. Or have to rely on the person in the room.
And so what would you want to switch? What types of things would you want to, is it what you're seeing in front of you?
Yeah.
Switching from like a gallery view.
Yeah, gallery view to focus view to my screen. Like, should I just put a switcher on my desk, a small one, so that I can switch between the screens myself? Or I mean, he's right by me in a window, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I the things that I'm always thinking about in that situation is reducing the cognitive load for you, right?
Okay.
And so you don't want to have to think that I'm in charge of what I can see. You just want to ultimately be able to see everything you need to see.
Okay.
And so best case scenario is add another screen if you need to, if you need to do it that way.
Oh,
You can
yeah,
add as many screens as you want, right?
Okay.
Rather than having a switcher, I would, like you can literally have a 24-inch monitor or something that has something on it for you. Have everything that you're not switching. You just need to look at wherever you need to see, and now you're
Okay.
good. That's the
Okay.
ultimate. If otherwise, I think communicating with your team during an event on air is totally cool. I think it works fine,
Yeah.
and people sort of get they sort of get in on the inside of the event. You will see, and to that point, having an over the shoulder shot, establishment shot from you is really nice for the audience to see what you're looking at.
Okay.
You don't use it very often.
I'm in a small space. It's a pretty small space. It's like the size of like a regular office, right?
Yep.
What would you suggest? Like what kind of camera?
I mean, you can do like little GoPro, like little action cameras, like those little like sports cameras, things like that. You just need something that gets an HDMI out. And that's it. And I'm talking like you might cut to it 2 or 3 times in your event and that's it. But what it does to the audience is it tells them, it reinforces to them that you can see them.
Yes.
Right. So so that their faces are shown to you. And so you've seen that in Blue and Barry's studio when they cut to that when they're standing right in front of those screens. It makes a big difference to how the audience feels about what you're doing.
Okay.
And so I say all of that because at that time, your person could cut to that screen and you could say, hey, can you just change this screen to give me this? Or can you make this person bigger? Or, can I see the chat a little bit bigger or whatever. And the audience is just drawn into that, right? They're just like that's not it's not an amateur thing to do. That actually pulls people into the, oh wow, like I can totally see her setup and it looks great, and she can see me this whole time, and all of that just reinforces that. So
awesome.
they're the sorts of things I do. And you've already got the great step of having someone else handle tech for you, which is really cool. And so lean on that. Don't create extra steps and buttons and things for yourself.
Okay.
You've got a person for that. Add extra screens if you need to.
So the only thing that I need to worry about is what's on my computer in front of me.
Yep.
And then the screens.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you're thinking about even your slides and things and whatever it is that you're controlling. I would try to minimize that as well, right? Because ultimately you are, the priority of what you're doing is building community, the connection with people, and the content that you're sharing. It's not doing a whole bunch of other activities while you're trying to do that. And so you want to create as a distraction-free environment as possible. And so if you don't need to have that computer in front of you, because it's a temptation to do things and to, whatever.
Well, it's the only, and I've been thinking about this, but I don't want to pre-record everything, because I mean, I'm teaching people how to use AI tools and how to, do a lot of things, AI and coding. And so like, I need to be able, when we get to like talking with them, demos, and so I really need it to be live.
Totally. Yep. I totally agree with that. And that makes a lot of sense. You always want to think about what the best way is of educating, and having multiple ways of doing it. And one of the things that I think about a lot is, what content can I shift before the event that people have access to as part of the event, as a, you know, days before or whatever. They get a 30-minute training session on a particular platform. And now when we come together, I do a 2-minute recap of that, and now it's questions, because the questions are the most engaging. Like that's when people learn, and people learn from a question, not even necessarily from the answer. Sometimes it's just, oh wow, you're thinking in that way, that makes me think about this. I've not even thought about that. And so you want to maximize questions in a community, because it's community building. It naturally is community building as well. And so that's where you might find doing some pre-recording actually can be really handy, because you can fine tune that as well. You push that out and say, hey, there's a bit of watching that you can do before the event, and then come together with your questions and, you know, case studies and panel discussions and things like that are super cool, right?
Okay.
Like that becomes super interesting, rather than just demo by demo by demo, you know. So something to think about. But you know that content area, you know, much better than I do it. I'm just saying in general terms, so that you spend most of your time interacting with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
No worries. All right. I think Amelia is next.
Yeah, so I'm sure this is an oldie and eye roll question.
No such thing.
But setting up the image where people can send in images, and then you've got the image page.
Sure. Yep.
Can you run through that?
Image waterfall and stuff. Yep. Which
you're
maybe
gonna ask me. Do the create your own dreams. Dodonna coaching. Create your dream. Create your big dreams. That's a good one. I want to do it for my family one too, but
got it.
Yeah.
All right. We can have a look at it here, because I just want to make sure that we were on at least the same template. And if we're on the same template, we might as well be on your actual event.
Yeah. I've got another template that is, but are they similar in ways?
They are similar.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I also have a family gathering, you know, so family can, and yeah, anyway.
Fair enough.
Using it for personal reasons as well.
Good. Or any excuse to use it is worth it. So
yeah.
Right, let me check, and I'll just make sure that it is on this one. Justin, remind me, I think what we do have, there's a template that it's not on, right? Image upload.
I thought it was on all the templates, but I could be totally wrong.
Well, that's
or there's 6 of them. I haven't tried all 6 out.
Yeah, that's right. No, good. All right. So you should be comforted, Amelia, that it's definitely not an eye roll question.
Very good. I figured it might have been, but you know, I don't mind asking those eye roll questions, because you know, I may not be the only one.
It's true. All right, let me see here. Okay. just checking one more thing here, and then I can show you. Yeah. All right. All right. Just reminding myself. Here we go. So what we need, there's two things, is that we want a button to upload, right? So depending on where you would want it, because you can have buttons in different places, but say we wanted to add it here. Yep. So here, new button, and then over here, image uploader is the thing. So upload an image, whatever you want to call that.
Right.
Okay. And so that is where they choose their image. And then we have the features and image entries. And this is where we can enable that. And then you're going to see as people upload their images, you'll have them pending, and this is where they come up with approve or you can reject. So it's always a moderated feature. Otherwise, it could be
you
dangerous.
Get crazy stuff. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, and so then you've got there you go. You've got some options as far as how the image waterfall. So the waterfall feature is designed as to put on a screen sort of behind you, that type of idea, or that, or you cut to it. Or, you can also have it linked for other people to look at it as well, right? So you can do, you could have.
Yeah, they have a view image
page, and then here, see this image waterfall. Yeah. And so whatever, right? See images.
Right.
And that will now, when you, it's gonna, it doesn't do it that way. We'd need to open it as we could do a little. If you want to, we can just do a complete test for you here. Do a little test. I can use this one and go here.
Oh, that's good to know that you can test it like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
All right. So now, oh, there we go. It's fine. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I've just uploaded an image. If we come back here and go back to features and image entries, so you need to have someone, right, that is sitting and approving. But you're like, okay, picture looks great, approve that. And then when we come here and we can go see images, there it is.
Cool.
Right. And then, you can customize this page a little bit as well. But obviously, the more pictures you have, then now you've got a heap of pictures and it looks cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, and is there a way for me to save those pictures onto my computer?
There sure is. Yeah. I love when there's questions as simple as that one. Export.
Okay.
Export,
So just
and that's going to download them all, or just the approved, or whatever you want, right?
okay.
So, or I mean, you could export just the rejected ones. They might be your favorite pictures that didn't get shown.
Okay, cool. Now I thought there was a way that to put it on, like, not up in the top, but can it be on the sidebar, like next
The
to the
upload,
resources?
the the links to upload, you totally can. When
Just
we do,
add
like,
an item.
you add an item, which will be a sidebar buttons,
Okay.
right? And so now we've got add a button, and now this is the same as what we did before. So now
Got
we can
it.
do image
Okay. Image
uploader.
uploader.
Yep. And then if you want to link to the page, then link, and then image
waterfall. Okay.
Yep.
Yay!
All good.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Thank
So
you.
so go back to your event, because I've just left some junk there. I left some trash on your dashboard.
That's okay. No, it's perfect. Awesome. And I actually recorded this a little bit, so I can have it for the next time.
Oh, look
Thank
at that.
you.
Well done. No worries.
And
That's a good
Amelia,
question.
one just quick FYI for you. Until you get enough images there, which is 6, because there's 6 columns, the image waterfall looks a little awkward. So you want to make sure before you put that button for the attendees to actually view the image waterfall, you have enough image actually approved. Also get some, like, images are missing and it'll just look really odd.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, images they're very, very cool. It can be used in a really powerful way, as far as one of the things on there was that you can customize the upload text, and that's where you could put in some text around how the images might be used, and so you can be asking for permission to post them on socials, things like that, right? So and so by uploading, you agree to, your images being used on whatever your socials and things like that. So it's a great way of gathering, images that you can use. And particularly, like, you've seen it before, where you get people to take a photo of you with your workbook, filled out, or like whatever it is. And now you've just got a whole gallery of images to use, or create a gallery of people. And something as well is that, Sebastian, you were talking before about points and things, that you can assign points to people for image uploads too, right? So it's a really cool way of doing it, and it only works for approved images. Is when the points are added. And so that's a way, if you add in, like, it's a thing that the whole point system gamification around a dashboard is really about engagement with the dashboard, particularly when you have sponsors and things like that. But also, you're now creating an incentive for people to upload images that you can then use for marketing and and pushing out your event, and so yeah, it's worth thinking about. It's a cool feature. And plus, you then create, if you've got a screen in the background of your event, you can now have those images just kind of floating up, and it's a cool addition. Cool. Ash, want to jump back in?
Yes, I do, my friend. Okay. So I created the Zoom area, and so it's when I click on the number 1 and I go in there, and then it's open room. So how does it know when the event is starting? Because right now it's not letting me click on it to enable the room, if you will, open the room or whatever. But I did copy the link basically.
You copy the direct
Can I
access link?
Yeah, can I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay, let me show you. Oops,
There you go. Yep.
I got it. Okay. So here's what I have, right? And then I got into here, I got the direct access link, right? And
Yep.
based on doing this, I don't need to do, in this case, I don't need to do this piece, is what you're saying?
No, you do. You'll still need to open the room and click start. So if you
Okay, so it's not letting me.
Yeah, so go to your event settings. Let's have a look at that.
Event
So
setting.
event top in the left-hand column, event.
Oh, event right here. Okay.
Top. Yeah. And so yeah, see it's the event has passed, and that's why it's not allowing you to. So see how you start and end time?
Make it the date. Okay, understood.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, just give yourself
So
a window.
yeah, well, this will be next week, so I'll just put next week. Is that okay?
Yeah. So, well, if you want to test it right now, you'll want to have it from now. But
yeah,
which is
I see
totally
what you mean.
fine.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So today
So
is
play around with that, and then
okay. I'll play around.
reload. Yeah.
Okay.
And then refresh the page, and then that'll come back online
And that's
again.
okay. So and that's how it knows that okay, we have the event, right? All
Yeah.
right. Then when it comes to the notice where we're gonna be recording and things like that, like the sign and things of the nature, can I display this somehow since I'm bypassing the system, or that's not possible by doing?
No, you can't. You can't customize that record link, the record notification, but you do still have a record notification in Zoom. You had one when you joined this meeting. It'll say this meeting has been
Yes.
I think
recorded.
he's asking about the
Yes.
waiver stuff.
The waiver.
Okay. Yeah, you can't do waiver for before if you're using the direct access link. It doesn't go to the waiver first.
It doesn't go to the
But,
waiver form. Okay.
no.
All right.
No.
Okay.
So
All right.
I mean, I would just include that in your on your community
on the Mighty Networks.
community.
Yeah, on the Mighty Networks. Okay, I can do that very easily. Okay.
Yeah.
And then maybe I can verbalize it as well when people join that hey, everything is recorded and what have you, and right.
Yeah.
In terms of recordings, will that be held within Obvio, and how long recordings are held so that I have time to export them out?
Mm-hmm. Yes, 60 days is when they're still available they're available for 60 days on Obvio.
Okay. Okay, and if can we set up like a Zapier or something to get it into my Vimeo or no?
You were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. You've asked that same question like for
I know, but like
for years.
I know I have asked you for
just
years. I know.
I love it. I love that your integration stuff is so important to you that the idea of downloading a video and then uploading it again
it's
is
too much
just
work.
like,
For what
too much.
reason? It makes no sense. Does it make sense to you to sit there
makes
for hours
complete
and
sense
wait for
to
the
me
video to download?
It makes complete sense to me because I don't want to post an hour pre-show in that recording. I need to edit the recording. And so I always download, edit, and then upload.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, never mind. I am not into editing. I just want to post and then editing finished. Okay, basically.
Yeah. No,
that's kind of like how I want to go, but there's no way, right?
There is.
Okay.
So as I've said before, there is one integration that we have with what was called Searchy, which is called membership.io.
Yeah.
Where it can take your recordings from Obvio and put them into membership.io. But
All right.
given that you've already got a CRM and Mighty Networks and Obvio and Vimeo, you probably don't want to add a whole another service to that.
I don't think so, because I think
You're well
there's
covered.
plenty of services. Yeah, that's well covered there, right? It's just
All right.
I love the
And
fact
this-
that we can do. Go ahead.
This is my other suggestion, is that you go to onlinejobs.ph.
Okay.
I think it is.
Okay. Onlinejobs.ph. Okay.
Hang on. No, that's not right. Oh, maybe it is. Online jobs.
That's the right one.
PH, yeah.
Okay.
So that is based in the Philippines,
Okay.
and you can get a virtual assistant for a good amount, for a decent amount, and you can task them with downloading these videos and uploading them for you, and then you never have to think about it again. All potentially for less money than paying for a new service.
Okay. Well, I think I have that piece covered. So yes, but thank you for that. I do like that onlinejobs.ph idea. But thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Look, as a feature request, if you ever get around to it, please finish that, because it will make everybody here would love it. How about that, right? Everybody who would love it. No.
I tell you where I do see that there is some value in that.
Yes.
Justin, we could put it on a Blue Sky list or something. Blue Sky is actually quite a good name for it. But is that where I see value in it now is that these services like YouTube and Vimeo and places do have editors built in. And so the idea of being able to just click a button and have it sent across to a Vimeo, and then in Vimeo you then open it and can trim it. I can see value in that. Before they didn't have those features, I was less interested, but now they sort of have editors where you can even do some basic editing, and I think that could be quite handy, particularly for people with slower internet.
I'm just happy to convince you to at least have it in there. So
have you got a computer that you can actually have storage enough to
Yes.
download now? You got that?
Yes,
sorted?
I do. Yes, I got that sorted out. Yes.
That was your excuse last time. It was like, my computer hasn't got enough space to download all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have that issue at this point, but still, I was just trying. Okay, but thank you for that. Thank you, my friend. Okay,
Cool.
Thank you.
No worries, Ash. It's good.
And
Sebastian.
Grant, real quick, it is logged in last time. It is logged onto our list of things. After Ash mentioned it last time, I at least logged it in there. I also can tell about 90 minutes into the call, your coffee kicked in.
Nice. Very good. Sebastian.
Hey there. So I've had a bit of time to look around. So I'm going to pull us back to that same issue just so I can
sure.
can hopefully save myself a little bit of time looking into it later instead of the wall I hit here is I'm actually not sure what the external tag function for Zapier leads to or how to find or trigger that. Like I understand how to set it up now inside of attendance so that it will happen in accordance with handing out points during the event, but I actually don't know where that goes.
Okay, so have you connected ActiveCampaign to your event?
Not directly to Obvio. So
Right.
if both Zapier and ActiveCampaigns are connected to the back end of Obvio, it'll automatically add a tag inside of ActiveCampaigns using Zapier.
So have you got Zapier connected to the event?
Yes.
You do. Okay. I don't. You can have them both connected. What I'm not certain of is when it comes to that Zoom attendance, whether you will have both appear. Do you know, Justin?
I'm not for sure certain
Yeah, I'm
if
not
when
sure
you
either.
if you try to tag someone in Zoom attendance with an
Well,
external tag,
if I do just
don't
do
know.
the Zapier tag,
You can do it
what's
through
the
Zapier. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So essentially what it's sending back to Zapier is the a kind of a payload with all of that information, the first name, last name, email,
Yeah.
um, and the tag is what's being pushed back for each attendee that fits the filter, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
now the way that you receive that in Zapier is then saying, okay, now if I get this, then and it's got this tag, then tag that and you connect that back to Active Campaign, and now you can say now tag them with this. So while you can do it with Zapier, because there's a native integration with Active Campaign, then you shouldn't need Zapier for that.
Okay.
Was
Okay.
there anything else that you were using Zapier for with
Yeah,
Obvio?
we have Zaps to automatically connect and create attendees through our ClickFunnel.
Okay, and okay, and not through Active Campaign.
No, ClickFunnel was a previously existing. I think the system was just there and it just was set up that way.
I can come in. Yeah, okay. So I mean, there's ClickFunnels. There's ClickFunnels integration as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. Wherever possible, it's easier wherever there's a native integration. That's going to be easier to configure that, right?
Oh,
Than it
I
is.
100% understand, and I'm with you on that one. This is sort of an inherited, and this is an
Gotcha.
adopted child here.
I see.
And yeah, so right now there's the Zapier integration, although all of that can be rerouted to run directly in through ClickFunnels or Active Campaigns with a little bit of work.
Correct.
When I send it back through to Zapier, is there going to be a specific what module do I use inside Zapier to catch that inside the Zap itself? Because I checked the Obvio one, and obviously that was a bit of a dead end.
You know, no. So, yeah, Justin.
I was going to say the Avio one's exactly what you need, actually.
Oh, really? I had just looked there, and
Yep.
there was only the three options. Perhaps maybe I just didn't read close enough.
Yeah, there's attendee checked in. For triggers, there's an attendee checked in, an attendee created, and an attendee tagged. So when you're tagging them, you want to pick the attendee tagged trigger, and then you can write your Zap from there. And you can check filters and all kinds of.
For my action events, I see only create, delete, and update.
For actions, yes. You don't tag, or you wouldn't capture the tag through an action. You capture a tag through a trigger. So like they click a button on the dashboard, it tags them with like clicked on the main stage. In Zap, you would then add for your trigger Avio and pick the trigger event attendee tagged. And then you can do whatever you need at that point in your Zap.
Okay, well then perfect. I'll just keep moving along then, since I can watch this recording back then and trace that through Zapier to find the end there. Thank you very much.
Yep. And then one quick clarification too on ClickFunnels. It's ClickFunnels 2.0. So if you're on ClickFunnels Classic, since you said it's an inherited thing, there is not a native integration for Classic.
No, luckily it is on 2.0.
Perfect. And one other thing, since you do have says don't do Zapier and a native integration for creating attendees. You will get in a scenario where if they're not in both systems, you will add one through Zap, and if it's not in ClickFunnels, it's going to remove it out the next time ClickFunnels syncs. So pick one system to do the attendee creations.
Yep.
And you'll be set.
That sounds perfect. Yeah, since it exists as is right now, I think I'm just going to go ahead and let it continue to do its thing. It doesn't seem to be broken. I can see how they could have gone about it a little bit more efficiently, but it's not always efficient when you get something like this. So
Yeah, and it's only recently we had the ClickFunnels 2.0 integration added within the last couple of months. And so it sounds like that event existed before where they had to do Zapier in order to do all the stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah, that does seem likely, catching it through the webhooks and stuff. It's strange. It's the only place in the entire infrastructure that we do use them. Every once in a while I forget and I'm like, wow, how are the attendees being made in Ovio? And I got to go backtrack through our systems registry and be like, oh, there it is. But I'll wait my turn again here and let Ash go.
Nice. Ash
Thank
again.
you. And I know
Yeah.
Ash is full of questions today.
Yeah.
Hopefully we got an answer this time.
He's full of something.
Yeah, I am exactly something, right? Because I don't. This thing is not letting me enable the room, so I don't know what to do now.
Did you
I
did
changed
you
the time.
refresh? And you're now within that window, like as in time is within. It's
Yeah,
now
look.
after your start.
Yeah, look.
And did you hit save on the event setting page?
Yeah, so it's not 7 p.m. in Eastern.
Yeah, but
right?
even if I change it to 6, it's still not working. So if I change it to change 6 and hit save, it didn't work before.
Well, have it.
Unless, go ahead.
Well, I don't think it'll let you set it to the past, is it? It just
It'll totally let you set it to the past.
Oh,
yeah, see,
okay.
it didn't.
Can I set it for maybe 6:30
Yeah,
or
well,
6:45?
yeah, 6:45, and then wait a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay. My third point is like, okay, let's see. I'm gonna do 6:45.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
then
then
just go
save.
down.
And then now it's
Go down. Just go down and see that that's saved. Stayed the same. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Mm-hmm.
and then zoom
And
in
then
again.
and then you'll need
Right?
you'll need to refresh in 3 minutes or whatever.
Okay,
Give
got
it
it.
another try.
And then how do I delete this room?
Click
So
on it.
Okay.
Click
Does
off the-
this mean that I'm not gonna have breakout room if I delete this?
No,
Or no?
breakout room. Like it's just a Zoom. It's a Zoom meeting. The room we're talking about, Zoom
okay.
room, is a
Okay.
meeting, and you can have 100 breakout rooms in that meeting.
Got it. So this one is a meeting, right? Basically.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's good enough for me. All right. I think I'm getting tech savvy today. So thank you.
You are. You're all over it.
I'm becoming a tech expert. Okay.
Exactly.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And Grant,
Right.
before we take
Yes.
the next hand up, Melanie did submit a question to us.
Oh, good. Hey, Mel.
She is looking at how to hook up ActiveCampaign to Avio so that she can get the magic link to go to ActiveCampaign. And I'm sure she can unmute and give us any additional details she might need to give us.
Have you done this?
Yeah, so Grant, I've done it before
Yeah.
and I can't do it
Yeah.
again.
Okay. Okay. So the steps are there when you go to the services and ActiveCampaign, and it tells you where to find the API URL and API key. You do that. And then once you do that, then you're going to see the options in Obvio as to which tags and URL custom fields and things. So you're welcome to play around with that now if you want to, as in if you have any other questions, see what you think. So
No, I'm not really good at doing it under pressure, which sitting here doing it would be under pressure. So I'll play around with it and I'll ask Lou on Friday if I can't figure it out. Thank you.
Makes sense. No worries. Yep. Yeah. So just click on that and then it'll ask you, it'll show you, to go to the settings and developer settings. And that's where you're in ActiveCampaign. That's where you'll get the 2 fields. Yep. Cool. Sebastian?
Hey, thanks again here. Matt, you can tell it's near the end of my workday. It took me way too long, Justin, to remember what a trigger was in Zapier. I was like, what module is that? And I'm like, oh my goodness. But perfect. I got that. That's all good now. That should be easy enough to set up now that I know what's going to happen. I did want to ask here in the attendance area under attendees, there's also the option to directly export attendees. Is this function meant to say like to export the total details of the attendance of the attendees? Like the
Yeah.
information that would go to, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Then good.
That's where you're able then to get how many minutes, as an example, how many minutes they were connected to the event.
The sum total of the data. Good. Then
Yep.
that is I did try that with data selected currently within the chart visible to the last event I did, and unfortunately didn't receive a download or an email through any of the Blissful Life Wellness
Okay.
sources. Also,
Okay.
I would say the wording of the box itself that pops up that you are about to export attendees for a total of 0 attendees or 12 attendees should probably say attendance for attendees, not export
Right.
attendees twice.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
Just making note, which seems like
Yeah. Attendees for attendees.
attendance for, yeah, it says
Yeah,
export
that's right. Yeah.
attendees for attendees, yeah.
Right.
And then if there's no, I guess I'll wait to see if that data just comes into one of the emails.
Well, yeah. So it should go to the email of the user that you're logged in as.
Dale and Nicole, yeah.
So and the other thing is I don't think it will let you hit the button anyway, but you do have to select an area. It can't be across the full event, so it's just the area first before you can export. But yeah, if you were able to click the button, then you must have already selected that.
It did allow me to click it, and I just got back to the page there where the data was, and nothing, no follow through.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll double check. And had you just done that?
That was
today,
not
or?
shortly after we spoke last, actually.
Okay,
Like the
right.
first time when you had informed and given me access to the page.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
also
We'll have a look at that.
Since it had a few things had been mentioned as well for additional notes and potential future features, just the ability to link text inside of the text areas and have that also be a way to bank points within Obvio itself. Because I know there are some clearly where it's catching when they go to certain pages or the leaderboard or whatnot. If I could also have the ability to make custom actions for points where they could click text and then just link text inside of a box. And that would just help me motivate people to actually read through the text on some of the event pages and be like, hey, if you look through it, every once in a while you might find a word that'll, be blue when you hover over it, and that'll give you 5 points.
Yeah.
In no way a priority at all. I just thought I'd mention it.
No, yeah, that's cool. There's a few things that we've talked about as far as improving the points system. Of course, you could have it linked to another page at the moment. So if you weren't using sponsors or speakers pages, you could reuse those as a kind of like as an Easter egg page, in a way.
I have managed to find a few creative ways to use it, mainly just by using the color picker choices on buttons to allow me to semi-hide buttons on the page and then use the individual custom setting to be like, oh, you found a little secret button, and it's just the word secret button, almost the same color as the background, right? So we'll see if anybody finds those or not. Get them to pay a bit of attention.
Yep, that's really cool.
Since you're looking for other secret things, one hack that I've done along that way is to put a blog post on the page with a bunch of spaces, and you have to put at least one thing in there. So I put like a period at the bottom and then put a button attached to the blog that's an image. So you can
Yes,
actually
that's
make the
exactly what I
button
did.
image.
Yeah, I got,
Right.
Yep.
and the little image is one of the little award ribbons, which is right beside what I use for the icon for the leaderboard. Yeah, that's great. I loved. When I thought of that, I was like, I hope nobody finds it. I hope that's actually just for me.
Yep, I've put that
Uh,
at the bottom of the dashboard as a reward for reading through like the welcome letters and whatnot.
Yeah.
I hope it has the same effect for myself. But I want to thank you guys so much for answering all my questions today, especially since there was so much repeat content with that.
No worries. Those were all great questions. Thanks, Sebastian. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Tends to be, we tend to fill up 90 minutes pretty quickly, and then that's when the energy level drops off. Hey, Muddy, you haven't been kicked out of your house, have you? Is everything okay? You haven't packed up everything and you?
My wife is an amazing realtor, and I'm going to help her stage a property. So.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Good.
Haven't been kicked out yet.
No, that's right. It's not like this is all that you own. There's not enough tech there, really. Nice.
Yeah, this is just a weekend trip.
Yeah, nice. All right. I think we're going to call it. We need to do it quickly before Ash asks another question about Vimeo.
It's not about Vimeo, but it's still not opening up the room.
Oh, what? So did you refresh the page now that it's...
Okay, let me refresh the page one time.
It needs that to know the time.
Nope. It actually shuts down the enable direct access room as well when I click on it. So look. So if I click on this, right, it should open it, correct? What does that?
Yeah. In this instance, I think it might be a stale room now. And so
start a new
I
room.
would create another, I'd create another room.
Okay.
You can do it in there in that one if you want, and then you can delete
how
the
do
first
I?
one. So yeah,
Just
click on
new area.
No, you can go into the area that you're in. Yep.
Okay.
And then create a room.
Okay. Create
Yep.
rooms.
Yep. Just one.
Just name it 2.
Oh,
Create.
that's creating 2 rooms, but
oh,
you got 3.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And then
open.
Yeah.
Ta-da! It worked.
Now you're fine. Yeah.
You're like a Houdini. I like it. Thank you.
I'm gonna be like Houdini right now and disappear. I think we're done.
Yeah, no, you're done. I understand that, buddy. But thank you for all your help. Okay.
No problems. It's good.
Truly
Ash.
appreciate
All the
that.
best
And
with that.
I just I just wanted to make sure that I get this straightened out. I'm excited about next week. I told Blue and Barry were like picking out my landing page. I'm like, you know what, guys, the heck with it. I'm just gonna market what I got, and just whoever comes, and whoever doesn't come is okay. Just move on. Like I gotta make some money. Like forget about all that. Well, I'll get the languaging down later. So literally, like my page, it doesn't. I don't know. I was just trying to make it so that it speaks to a broader audience because
Right.
it's financial chakras, So I was like, okay, how can I make it speak to a broader audience? And I did that. And then Blue started like Blue and Barry looked at it and they're like, yeah, it's too
broad.
too normal kind of a thing. Like everybody's kind of saying that, right? So I'm like, okay, do I need to go back to my, what I say? And the answer is yes at some point. But for this event, I'm just gonna go with it. Roll the dice and move on. Like just get 40, 50 people in there, make some sales. Ta-da. Like
Fair enough.
success. That's
Fair
what
enough.
that was my thought, and that's why. But I want to thank you for helping me with this. It
Yeah, no
it made
worries.
it made a big difference.
Good.
And I'm excited to record in full HD. Like I'll tell you, and really I'm excited. I can't wait to see like the outcome of that.
Yeah.
Because like I do a lot of the reason I keep asking you about the Vimeo is because I do a lot of recordings. I have my daily wealth manifestation. I have my daily VIP mastermind. I have lots of things happening, and I would
Yeah.
love to just ditch Zoom completely and just come in here and use
Right.
this as my main recording device. And I do have somebody that can download and all that, just so you know. So I have saved that piece of it, but I was trying to save time even to the team because it is a time aspect, right? So I was thinking that if it can be done, I think it would be kind of cool. Honestly, it would be really cool.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I want to say
All
thank
right.
you for trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no problems.
All
No
right.
worries.
And then I think Justin wanted to meet me, so I'll copy his meeting ID. Okay, got it, Justin. Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
See ya.
Next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.